Right, back again with beginning of update 7, I think it is. Lost goody count. As you can see, I've gone a bit daft again and forgot to video what I was doing, not concentrating. As you can see, I just put the debris on there. I put the my pointy stick. I've weathered the corrugated iron sheets like I showed you last time, just weathered them slightly, the dust and things. Put the wood on. If you look on here, like a tangled mess of like a shrub of some description, a vine of some description, certainly grew up from the telegraph pole. There's a, I don't know if I showed you last time with that. Was that there last time? I can't remember. A little fuel drum, some barbed wire, which is basically just the. Let's just zoom in perhaps a little bit, maybe. No, I'll just say where we are at the moment. Bit of barbed wire around here as well. I've got more to go on the broken glass from all the windows. I don't know if you won't be able to see them. I'll try and take a few photographs and stick them on when it's complete. We'll go through the pictures. Yeah, so I've also done just dusted off a lot of the grey dust to show the highlights of the tracks, like the rust underneath the tracks. Obviously, they haven't been used for such a long time. These have still got to be put the wire on there. They're still got to be on, but I think that's the rubble completely finished on this side. I don't think I need to do anything else on this side apart from the naming of this thing, and I still haven't really thought of a good way to do it yet, but I will be doing something. And I've also added, I don't know if you can quite see, a light on the outside of the well, the remnants of a light on the front of the factory. There we are. That's just slightly bent, and there again it's just got the pigments on and things like that, and the dust, because everything gets covered in dust. The window now is in completely properly now. I've made wedges, and I've wedged colored them the same as this wood and wedged them in, so you can't really tell. There's no gap or anything now. Where else have I done? As you can see, you can probably see better now the water effect slightly into the middle of the drain pipe where it's been oozing out. That still just needs a bit of TLC. It's not quite. I'm not quite happy with that part yet, but I'll go back to that. I'll revisit that, as they say. So as far as the back is concerned, all I've done at the back of this moment, which again I got carried away, I'm sorry I forgot to video it, is I've done a few. I've given it a bit of a wash to darken it down slightly. The grey was a bit too grey for me, so I've done a bit of a wash. That just needs to dry. And if you look on here, I've made like a conduit with the cable. There's cables coming off the top there, you can see, and there's cables that would have been running into the wherever it was on there. And all this is just a small doweling, bits of wood doweling painted. That's all that is. Smoothed off with a really fine sandpaper, just take the little burrs off that you get with a bit of sometimes you get with doweling. And for the straps, the same as I made the straps. If you can pull it, let me just see if I can maybe zoom in a little bit here, and you can probably see better. There we go. Move it across there. Yeah, you can see the straps. Well, yeah, the straps there and there's there. So all I've done with this is I'll never put the piece of foil. It's just a piece of, you know, obviously mince pies at the moment, being Christmas. I keep all the containers for them because I've got a fetish for mince pies, and I rub it till it gets, you know, till all the kinks are out of it. And all I've done with that is the same as I did with the drain pipe. Just cut a nice slither, bend it round the, you know, as they were attaching to the wall, and put the meng nuts on there. There's, I missed a bit there, so I'll have to go back and do that. Yeah, so I put 1, 2, 3, 4 brackets there and one onto there. You can see where I've actually, I don't know if you can, go around this side, maybe round. Is it going to show us if I go back round this way perhaps? No. As you can see, with now I've made the dust inside the windows, and there's dust on all the broken glass that's left in the windows as well. So the machine has to be built to go somewhere around here, obviously where there's the electric point where it would have come in and down and wherever. So that's going to go around there. I'm going to put, this is just a couple of old squares of foam with the greaseproof paper and tied up. I'm just going to keep that a bit there like that, just as it's, there we are. Let's zoom out again, you can't see, can we? There we go. Yes, I'm just going to use these tarps of somewhere and doing them somewhere just to as if they were packing things up to ready to go. And I've got a few, like I say, I showed you a few of the wheels from the T34. I'm not too sure about putting them in there yet, but we'll see when I get towards the end. It may just overpower it, but say I've got the rubble to go in there and the machine to go in there, and this needs finishing obviously. This needs like rain streaks and a bit of the old, you know, slime again coming down the green. You know, it's been up into the elements for quite a while. So let's zoom back again and we start again, didn't we? I'm not looking at the camera. Yeah, I need to put a bit of the green, a green wash or the slimy green that I've got from the ship, just a few streaks down there, you know, to represent the rain, and it's been weathered and battered while it's been in the elements all the time. The door, still not too sure what I want to do with the door. Do I leave it on? Do I put it on? I don't know. I've got to make a handle for it yet as well. I'm not too sure. Is it going to be blown inwards or outwards? I suppose it depends where the shell falls, I suppose. It could be blown inwards. So I might have that inwards. I might break it. I need a door, so it needs a handle on there, yeah. Yeah, so the green on there, a bit more weathering on the sides of here again, but the rubble is up there, broken. There's glass to go back on there as well, obviously from this side of the glass. A few of the red bricks again, mixed in, and I think then we're about there. So we've got one green door, machine, and then rubbles and all that kind of stuff. So we're getting there. I might do a bit of the rubble tonight, later on, as I'm going to go back and finish the wiring on the front and decide how I'm going to put the name on, the lettering for the name for the factory onto the front. And then, like I say, we shall wire the telegraph poles up, and I say I'll get the diode completely finished, I think, before I put the T34 on, because I still need the suspension. I've done the suspension, but I haven't done the suspension, if you know what I mean. It's ready to go. I know what I'm going to do with it. It's just doing it. So, but then obviously the same weather, and I'll have to go in it with the red brick and the dust and things like that on the tank, and all the tank riders are exactly still the same. I don't know if I showed you the yeah, it's basic, at the basic colour on at the moment. There's nothing. I say my figure painting isn't the best. So that's going to be the driver inside. So the hatch, as you know, the hatch is open on that. And I'm going to use this as the commander. He's like firing a flare gun. So he'll be poking out the top of the cupola, commander's cupola. He'll be firing a thing to say we're here or whatever. He's got a flare gun in his hand. And then obviously we have the 4 tank crew as well, which I'll probably do those tonight. I'll start detail painting them tonight as a break from the diorama. So you know, I know it took a long time, but I say I just haven't had the time. You know, my modelling bloody time has just vanished. And at night time I'm that bloody tired. I sit in a comfortable seat, as Joe Bentley knows, and I just fall asleep and just do nothing else. So it's called getting old, I think. But yeah, so I'm happy. Everything's coming together now. Hopefully I'll have it all done before Christmas, and then I can start on the Meng Whippet, which was a little buddy build between me and Joe as well. And I'm going to do a kit review after I've done this. Something that I don't normally buy. It's still armour, but it's not a tank. So, and it's an old kit, but a nice kit. So I'll do that next. So I think we'll call this I'll stop here until I start doing the and then I'll start doing the stuff on the inside. We'll film that. We'll do the film of the green and the and weathering of the inside of the factory. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very soon. Right, back again, chaps. Sorry, but I've got carried out once again. My apologies with the backside. But I'll point out what I've done so far and what I will be doing next, and I assure you I'll do it on camera. So my apologies for that. Let me just get my pointing stick. This will do. Right, as you can see on the front, I've positioned the all the debris and the wood and things like that, and the corrugated sheets. And on here I've put the vine on there with a few brown leaves because it's getting that time of year, and a few leaves scattered around there. And also on the glass, I don't know if you can quite see the glass into all around here. And a few little graft tuff, just creeping through by the oil can, down by the drain. Let me just see if I can see by there, by the drain, where it's a bit watery. So I'm going to add a little bit more wet effects to that, just a little touch. I've decided to put the red star, as you can see, I've put it above the entrance. So I thought it'd be a little bit better on there, and I've added that little lamp. I think you saw that last time. So that's the front really finished, apart from the T34 going on there and the crew, which I'm going to get back to eventually. It's just been a slow build. My apologies, it isn't the end of the front. We have all the wiring to do, yeah, which I'm going to leave till last, because you know me, I will break it and snap things and whatever. And I was thinking about this on here, to put like a label on there, a factory name or whatever it is in Russia along the front of there. I was putting high and low for ideas, and I just thought I'd try and do it in balsa wood. So what I did, I got some tracing paper, and I traced a sign from Russia off the internet. I was going to print it out, but I thought, no, I can't get the depth on it, and this is where you need one of these laser cutters in it, or things like this. So all I've done at the moment, they're just being primed, is I've made it out of balsa wood. Oh, it's not the best. I'm going to have to damage them a little bit, which I will when it's separate. I'm unsure what colour. I'm leaning towards red for that, so that will go long there, obviously, when it's all painted. But I'm not sure, should I put a little piece behind it so it's coming from the wall, or just directly onto the wall. I'm unsure yet, but whoop, that's a good start. See, that's what happens. I'll have to glue that back down again. Yeah, so it hasn't come out too badly. Let's come off as well. Never mind. It's not come out too badly. It's just balsa wood cut. Like I said, I've just put it onto a file and a bit of sellotape behind it just to paint it. Let that dry, and then I'll give it a coat of red paint, weather it up a bit, put a few marks, like pieces of the letters missing and all that kind of stuff, which I have with the R at the end, but that wasn't deliberate. That's what happened, an accident. The Russian R at the end. So we'll weather all that up and we'll see what happens with it. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad, so I can go over there. So basically, obviously the signs, the wiring for the telegraph poles, and obviously the T34 on the front. And in the rear, I've made a start on weathering the rear on there as well, which I used the obviously grey primer, which was already, which I did start with, and I used a number of things. I used the black wash, which is just a normal black wash from Vallejo, which is 76518. Blind as a bat I am. So after I put the grey coat, I put the black on, and then I did a bit of streaking grime for Panzer's grey, which is an AK Interactive, and it's AK069. So once that was dry, I did a bit of winter streaking grime as well, which is another AK product, which is AK014. Most people will have sort of these things. What was the other one? Oh, it was a Wilder product. It was the was the Wilder Dark Street Effect, which is 23. So that was the last thing that I put on. I say I streaked it down. You can see there's all bits and pieces, and I'm thinking I'll put a bit of green on there as well, just along the edges, just you know, just dropping down to it a little bit and brushing it in, feathering it in, just to put a bit more into it. And I can't remember on the last update, I showed you the wiring that I did. Basically this is just a piece of balsa wood again, all weathered and painted up, and these are the wiring out of an old telephone wire which I grabbed and used. Just out of a bit of interest, obviously being a factory there's going to be some power things in there. So for the machines, one machine which I'm going to put there. These tarps I may not use because they're old, they're not particularly very good, but I may do still. And I've got obviously the rubble to go on the back again, like similar to what I've done on the front, but more grey as well, and red as well, obviously because it's bricked from the outside. But we have to bear in mind this building must have been quite tall, and some of them have impacted on themselves, so there'll be a bit of rubble in there. And I started on with the door, which I've done like a big the hinges, and I put the big bolts on, because I thought it'd be a big chunky thing, but I've still got to make the door handle yet, and that'll be broken up and put in towards the inside of the factory eventually, with a few of these little things. These were off the tank traps, the Tamiya tank traps pack with the fences and things like that. So I was thinking of one idea is to have, I was going to run a railway line across here as if it would be an overhead crane. I still may do yet. Or maybe I'll block there, and I've got a couple of spare railway lines off the Leopold, which I still haven't done anything with, my apologies. So I was just thinking running of maybe a small crane as if it was going to be right across here, but I'll finish it off round about there. I'm unsure. I may do. I'll look into it. I'll have a look into it. I don't want to go too silly, but I think it just needs something up here. It looks a bit bland, and it looks might be factories inside. They're not supposed to be eye-catching, are they? Yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. So when I get back, the next part, we'll think about this, and I'll get back to you. And if we start doing it, then I'll video it as we're doing it. And same with the letterage on the front. Once they've dried and I've got the colour I want, the red on there, we'll come back to that as well. So we're getting there, 99% getting there now. Can't think of anything else that I've done. I think everything else is the same. Oh yeah, I just took a bit of the debris off the railway lines. You might not be able to see it, and just short of the rust that was underneath, and the metal, the true metal from AK. Is it AK? Yeah. Just underneath, so a bit of instead of just seeing all the dust all the time. So the window came out nice. I put this in properly this time, and I made a underneath here. I got it in there, some more balsa wood too, just to strengthen it and to stop it dropping out. And I think we see it better from the rear. So I just did one across there and a piece down there, and I think that was it really. Can't think of anything else. So I think that's where we are at the moment. So the T34 is still in the same as what I left it. So I want to finish this first, and then I get back to the T34, get the suspension on, get it positioned, get it weathered, and then that's finished. I'd like to get this finished in the next few days if possible, but sometimes it isn't possible. So we're getting there. So I'll leave it here at the moment, and when I decide what I'm going to do with the back, and once the letters are dry and ready to be put onto the factory front, and the cables as well, I'll get back to you. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll see you very, very soon. Right, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't really done a lot this week. It's Christmas coming up. I've been doing other things in the house, as you do. So what I'll start off is the back. I've finished off on the back. I've built up the little resin machine. It's quite simple to build, plain and simple. So I'm just going to position that sort of round against where the power comes in, and do the power cable beam as if it's broken from the back there. So And I was going to use these little girders as if they were drilling into them. That's what's going to go on there. So obviously this is going to be primed and decide what colour I'm going to use. I'm leaning towards a grey colour with a black underneath, and then I can chip it you know, with a bit of hairspray. I might do it that way, I'm unsure yet, or I might just do the old sponge. I shall see. I think it'll probably be the sponge might be the easier thing to do, as it's only got some small nooks and crannies and things that might need damaged up slightly. So and that's going to sort of roughly position there, and then obviously we'll have all the rubble and bits and bobs in there. So there's no point in me showing you how to prime a bit of resin. So it's been washed, so there's no residue on there. So I should be taking the primer quite nicely, which I'll probably do shortly. And the door again, as I've added the doorknob, but it needs to be all finished. And there again, I don't know if I'm going to have it whole or broken. So I'll put a latch in there as well. If you can quite see that. It's just be there again with just tin foil, you know, simple as that. So that's to be finished off, has to be weathered up again. Unsure about these two, like I say, the two, well, yeah, can't really see. Let's just bring the camera back out a bit. Easier to do it this way than mess around with the camera. Unsure about these resin, sorry, these tarps yet, but I still have, I'm still debating on putting a couple of these among the rubble. There might be 2 or 3 in the rubble to represent it's been in, you know, factory that reproduces the wheels for the T34. So I'll see that, probably do that when I'm sort of doing towards the rubble stage. I'll decide then. So there's nothing else much I've done at the back, apart from I've added another cable you know, conduit again at the back. This isn't being weathered yet. That's just to represent the little light going in through there. So that's all that's for. So that has to be weathered up and finished. And, well, this wall has to be weathered the same as this. I never quite got round to doing that bit. I never got called away and I never got back to it. So that's where we are with that. And as far as the lettering is concerned, I've got some of the lettering on. I've put TP so far, and then I realised again I wasn't videoing, so I stopped, and that's as far as I've. So what I'm thinking about doing with the lettering is putting some on, and then I'm just going to push a few of these. You know, these are just on with super glue at the moment, but I don't want to put them all on because I want to sort of have a you know, as if a couple have fallen off, and I want to have a little shadow of the actual lettering that was on there. So that's what I'm going to do. I haven't decided what letters to do yet, but all I've done with these is obviously I showed you last time, I sprayed them up with a primer, and then I did a red, just a normal normal Tamiya red, which is XF7, which is the normal Tamiya red for flat red. And then I let that dry, and then I went over it with a Wilder's product again, which I've shown before, which is the come on, is the Dark Street Dirt Effect. Oops, sorry, which is that one there, LL23. And that's how I've just darkened down slightly. But I say it isn't finished yet. The weathering isn't finished with it yet. But that's the basic colour what I've got on there now. So it's the red's been taken back, and it's just more of a dirty red now. But they're going to be weathered up again. So what I'll do is I'll put a few more letters on, and I'll leave a couple of letters off. And I was thinking of probably using where we go, either just the Vallejo Black Smoke, you know, Negro, as a shadow to where the lettering was being set. Just say we have the what? I've got A next. So if I put the A on, I think I put the A on. Let's find a bit of super glue. Here's it, these are stuck on the back of sellotape. Where just put a little touch of super glue on the back, and then pair of pliers from the bottom. You have to excuse me while I come around and make sure I get it sort of reasonably level to start with. So we've got the TPA. So the next one is the K. So what I was thinking of, I'll try it. Well, I've never done it before, so it's the first one for me, and with the same for you people. Let me just see if I can sort of. I'll just turn the camera around to me a second while I see if I can make a shadow. Don't want it too. I think what I might have to do is I might have to paint it slightly, I think. It's not going to be dark enough. I don't even think the camera will pick that up, what I've done. Maybe the straight line, that's about it. But nothing else, so I'll have to rethink that. I thought that might have worked, but I'll give it one more go just without taking too much of the pigment off. Okay. Oh yeah, see that now? So it has worked. So I'll put T-A-R-K, Mr. K off, and we'll have the K, obviously because I've done it, we'll have that weathered and placed onto the rubble. So that's that one to the side there. We'll have the a T, I think, next. I'll just stick it on at the top. I don't want to use the bottom of the, I use the bottom to hold, so if we can just left-handedly, oh there. So there, T-R-A-K-T. We'll have the O, I think. We'll have Mr. P, so we'll have a P. I'll have a P, please, Bob. For all those English viewers, will know what I mean. So we'll get the pigment again and get that shadow. So I'll just have to turn it towards me while I get the shadow in there to start with. And then we have the P, and now, so what do we have next? We have a H, T-A-K, so we've got T-P-A, Mr. K, got the T, got the 0, Mr. P. We have the H next. There again, I just want it on the top. Pair of tweezers again. So I'll just have to twist it towards me again so I can make sure I get it to the level that I want. There we go. And then we have the A, which will fit in there nicely, and then we have the P. So what I'll do is I'll put the A there as well. There again, we'll just have the top this time. So these are the advantages. You should have a laser printer, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? The letters would be a lot neater. And then we have the Russian R. So, where's the Russian R gone? Aha, here we are. Here we are. So, what I'm going to do with that is put that right on the end, but as the leg is missing off it, so what I'll have to do is do what I've just been doing. Just label that, just got that in just about right. And then we can just do the leg with the So we have something like that. The eye you can't quite see. I'm going to have to define that better, I think. But it's sort of got the the effect I'm really after, which isn't too bad. It's not brilliant, but there we are. Let's bring that in a bit there. That's better. So I just need to finish the R off, I think, and it needs to be weathered up a bit better. So I took that off the internet. It means obviously means either Tractor Factory or Tractor, or I just took an image off the internet. So we got TPAKT. That's an O or a Q, but some of it looks like O, some looks like Q. PHAR. So, well, it's not too bad, but say they need weathered up a bit. Yeah, they're still a bit in your face type thing. They sort of need to be darkened down again. We'll probably give another coat of the street grime, and try and protect the K and the P with the where it's the shadow is, and same with the R to get that more defined. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I'll take that bits of dirt off the where's my brush? Where's my big brush gone? Never find it when you want something, do you? I was using it before. This'll do. Just brush that off there. Off there. So yeah, I'll carry on with the weathering of those, and I say what we'll do now is we'll just turn that round and we'll start thinking about weathering. Just hold on 2 seconds please. Right, back again. So we'll start off with a bit of weathering on the back of this. So what I'll do is I'll just bit of thinners, and we'll use this AK Winter Grime. Streaking down for Panzer Grey, actually it's Winter Grime as well. If I can get into the bloody thing. Okay. No, it isn't that one, is it? Sorry, it's the wrong one. That's why. It's the Winter Grime, which is the AK 014. So let's give it another shake. So I'll just pop a little bit more thinners on there and there, and I'll get the brush, and I shall just let it run down, and get the same brush again with the thinners on, and just, you know, like you do on a, so my hand's in the way, I can't really do anything about that, can I? Unless I do it left-handedly. So, just gradually bring it down. the top. I think it needs a bit more on that side. Let me just turn it around 2 seconds while I get some and a bit of just to run onto that. Right, so carry on again. So I'm just going to bring that round there again and see if I can get into it without leaning. I'm at an awkward angle. I know I'm streaking up, but I haven't got a choice, unfortunately, to do it. I'll just streak up from the bottom. Let me just turn it around 2 seconds to see where I'm actually streaking it to. Bring it down now. Okay, and then I'll do the same on this back side, as you can't see at the moment, so I just need to obviously it's in the open now, so it just needs a bit of darkening. Let's put a bit more onto the actual on there. That's onto the conduit type thing. Then to bring it up, and again on this side, let me just get to the side, the inside of the actual see now, and then we'll just okay, so we've got that. So we'll have to leave that to dry, and then we'll go back over with a bit of just a normal black wash and a bit of grey wash to get sort of some more streaks, as you can see on the other side here, but not as pronounced. I think I overdid that a little bit, but as you can see, it's giving us that grimy, dirty, mucky sort of look that we're after. We can build upon that. I've seen a bit there, it looks a bit too much silver on that. I'll just put a little drop on there. That'll do. Yeah, so what I'll do now is I shall go away and I shall spray the little drill. I'll give it, I say, a black primer to start with, and I shall weather these up a bit more, using a bit the same product again with the Wilder's Street Grime. I may do a bit more damage, I'm not too sure yet, maybe a couple of bullet holes, or just, well, I've done bullet holes there, but there's a couple of chips out of it, as I did when I was doing the lesson. Weren't intentional, just sort of come out that way. Yeah, it's not too bad. Quite impressed, quite impressed, and quite pleased with that. So I just need darkening down that a little bit more yet. Not too much, but just a little bit more, and then basically the front is once that's done, and the wiring is done for the telegraph poles. That's the front completely sorted. So what I'll do is now, as I say, I'll log off at the moment, come off here from the updates, and carry on with the spraying of the machine, and I'll just slightly weather these again with the same material. But I'll probably come, actually I'll do that on camera as well actually, so there's no point in me not doing that. And then I'll be back very shortly to do that and show you the machine all primed up, and then we'll continue the weathering on the reverse. So it's Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very soon. Right, Gregor here again. We're back with the diorama, and we'll start off with weathering the lettering on the front a little bit to start with. What I'll be using is the dark streak effect again, where we at, which is a Wilder, and it's 23. So I've taken some out of there and I've let it down with a touch of water. So this is what I've been using, so it isn't as strong. So you have to make sure these Wilder probes give them a really good shake before you use them. That should be enough. So all I'm going to do is basically just don't need a lot. I just want to take some of the edge of the once it's dry, the red will come back through again, but not as predominant. And why it's so why it's still wet, I shall put with my brush again is some of the dust again, which is the slate grey again, which is a Vallejo pigment 73113. Let me just put another light on. See where we are. It's a bit dark into here. Let's just see if that makes any better. So right, let's carry on again with the rest of the lettering. Grey pigment again. I think that should do. I shall leave that to dry, and I'll dust what I don't like off. So I think I'll leave the lettering like that, but I say I'll dust the, once it's dry I shall dust off what I don't like. So that's the front basically done really, apart from the wiring for the telegraph poles. Let me just bring it more into shot. Yeah, so that's what basically the front is nearly is there really. You just say with the wire, in which I'll be just using normal jeweller's wire. Although I bought this for 99p off eBay, and it's not that, you know, like expensive stuff. The chip modelers use these elastic cotton. Well, this is basically it, 99p, and there's 10 meters on there. You know, so I might even use that. I can't even remember what's the proper name for it, but that was 99p on eBay. If anybody's interested, I shall pop the link into the description below later on. Right, so we'll turn this round. And we'll start, which is where I need to start weathering. It makes it a bit difficult. Before we start, I sprayed the machine black, and then I give it a grey, and then I give it a black primer and a grey primer. I didn't do anything else on the top of it, and then I started to weather it, and it's come out with this, which hasn't come out too bad. I just chipped it with a sponge, and then I used some of the Wilder's old grease and the Wilder's rust, which I shall show you now. So I'll just pop that there for now out the way, and I'll show you what I used. That's the one. So the first one, the grease, which is the Wilder's. No, get it right. The Wilder's old grease, which is NL36. That's quite nice. It dries as if grease, you know, looks like grease and like fuel stains. And then I use the rust just to finish it off, which is the light rust from Wilder, and it's NL08, and that's on the Nitro line. I must admit, I'm quite impressed with their products, and you do get a lot for your money. You know, a lot of it you can be let down. So it hasn't come out too bad, really. So nothing that I really should, you know, it doesn't really need to be shown. Oh, can't see better. Oh, just painted it up, a little white sign there. I'm trying to find a little decals so it looks like small writing on the white plaque there. They used the Avon 1 down below there. Trying to find something. I doubt I will, but I'll come up with something. And say the rest is just weathered. And that will be going. Let me just put the lid on this before I spill it. Alright, so let's bring this back. And that's going to go near where the wire comes, that the electric power comes out there. And I'm going to have a couple of them little girders. I'll take that and put that there for now. I'll do it. A couple as if they were doing something on the girders. So that's going to go there. I might keep these tarps on yet, I'm not too sure. We'll see how we go. And obviously I've got all the rubble to put on this side as well yet. But first we'll do a bit more weathering with the street grime again on there. Not a lot, just a little bit. So I'll give it a good shake. Put it into the tray. Basically, it's difficult to actually show it. So I'll do it on this side. You can see me doing it from here. So maybe just do a. It doesn't need to be left on long, because obviously it soaks into the plaster. I'll just dip it on a bit of, streak it down. It's difficult to do it at an angle. Right, so that should be okay on there. Right, well, I'll turn round and I'll just quickly do this side so I can see what I'm doing. So I'll just put a bit on the brush again and just do a few streaks. And again I'll do a couple of streaks on there as well. Right, let's do my brush. So you can't see me doing this, but I'm at an awkward angle and I can't. Well, I could try, couldn't I, really? I don't want it to dry too fast. Keeping on plaster. Even though it's been sealed, it'll still work.
Operation has been completed.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll do that down there, streak that down there. Right, so that's, you can't really tell at the moment obviously with the thinner's still a bit wet yet, but that shouldn't take too long to dry, so I should put that out the way. And what did we use? The next one was, oh yeah, we just used black pigment, didn't we? Just a black normal Vleo or black wash, which is the Negro 76518 black noir. Give that a bit of a shake. You don't need a lot. I'm going to let this down quite heavily, so it'll probably be 70-30 I would think. 70% water, 30% let's see where I've missed on there, look. So it says 70% water to 30% wash. So let's put a little drop in there. And some water. Give it a bit of a mix. So we've got it sort of to that sort of consistency where we are. You can see that. I'll just push it up to there, so that's about 70-30. Just enough to, you know, colour it. So let me just see if I can get this side on for you. Which one is there? So let me just. Yeah, it's not going to go on yet because the thinners is still. We'll have to let that dry first, thoroughly, before we can put that on, which I thought we would have to. But, right, so what else can I show you? Yeah, so I'll come back to you on that one again with when it's dry, and we'll do the bit of the black wash on there as well, onto this side to match, so it matches sort of the other side as well. A bit of a black wash, and then I'll get back to you, and then we can start thinking about finishing the front off with the jeweller's wire, which I shall do off camera because it's we're too fiddly to show you, and my hands will be in the way. So that's what we'll do. So I'll just log off for now, and we'll catch you very shortly. Right, back again, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I've got the wiring on the telegraph wires. Just used some jewellery wire at, well, I can't say what it was, but it was very thin, 0.2mm probably, something like that, 0.1. Just jewellery wire off eBay, 99p for quite a big roll I think it was. Yeah, so that's all done, just from there to there, a few damaged ones, and on the edges. I don't know if she'll leave all the cables dangling like that on that side. But probably will, because as it was carrying on, it was all damaged and things. So the front is now completely finished. Weathered up the thing as we saw. It looks quite nice. It's dried quite nicely, and the dust is sort of rested where I wanted it to on the lettering. So just the T34 to go onto there when I get it finished and weathered. So we'll turn around and we'll go back to the onto the inside. I've just finished off the weathering on the inside, just very similar to the what we've got on that side. And again, that's all done in there. So we're getting somewhere now. So the next thing to do will be is getting all the debris sorted for the bottom. I think that's the next thing I'll be doing, but I'll see how this will end. I think it's update. Let me just check what update it is. I can't even remember what update it was now. I think it's 6 or 7. Let me have a look. Come on, computer. You're very slow today. Right. Here we go. Right, so this will be the end of update 7, and then we can start on update 8 with the beginning of the debris on the floor, which I've got some grey tiles. I've still got some red bricks, so I'm going to do it similar to what's on the outside, but a bit more grey, and there'll be lots of wood in this time, as if the roof has collapsed on itself and one thing and another. So that's the next step. So I'll call this end of update 7. Is it? Yeah, totally confused myself. So this is the end of update 7. So we'll catch you very soon for the start of update 8. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very soon.